Hello, everybody. Happy Paul McCartney Day. Talking about Paul McCartney's new song that was released today, Days We Left Behind. Decided to do a live stream here and see if we could chat with some people in the comments. Also, if anybody wants to come up here, anybody that of course, I'm familiar within reason. We can talk, whether it's through comments or anybody joining me, and any of the other Beatle YouTubers, fans. Yeah, I already did 2 videos on this already. I put up 2 videos, one of them about the song, the single, and I gave my opinion on that. And I liked it. I did like it. Right, first listen, one listen. All I did so far was one listen. And I'm hoping that we're going to have some comments from you on there. I've already said enough. I said one video on that, and then I did another video talking about the different color variations that are coming out that you can get if you're interested. So, hey, Jick Magger, what's going on? And Gary, what's up, Joseph? Hi, Elvin. My understanding is the art cover is by his nephew. Okay. Happy Paul McCartney Day, indeed. That's what it is, and these days, as much fun as they are, sadly, there are not going to be many of them, so we have to enjoy every one of them when we have something to get excited about, a new release from Paul, new releases from Ringo, I still don't know how to say your name, Black Chub. I always say Black Chub the Bear, but I don't know if that's right. I say it. I think it sounds absolutely beautiful. This is the new song we're talking about, right? Okay, I'm positively surprised. Sounds classic McCartney, yet contemporary. The modern production and slight pitch correction doesn't sound tacky at all. I thought it was well done, having only listened to it one time, and that was already enough to like it. I only imagine it's going to get better for me every time I hear it from here on in. As it often does on Ringo's more recent albums, about the pitch control. Well, you could say whatever you like. I think that the last album, for example, that Ringo did, Look Up, from last year, was so great that Paul's going to have a long way to try to get an album as good as that. I really believe that. I mean, it looks like he's got a winner here, Paul, just from what we're feeling about it, and the single, going by the single. But let's not take anything away from Ringo with that last album. Hello, Christian. Yeah, it's an exciting day. That's why I figured I'd go live. Hello, I'm Bernard from Paris. Okay, there we go. I appreciate that. Somebody says the song was okay, but maybe I wasn't amazed. Well, the thing I'm wondering is, are there any people out there that are not really that thrilled with the new Paul song? Go ahead and say it. Don't be afraid. I want to know. Of course, I got a lot of positives when I looked at the comments in my video. Very positive indeed. But let me know if you didn't like it. Are any of the different colors on limited edition? And if so, how many? Well, I don't know how many. I don't know. I mean, I didn't delve that deep, Let's see. Mazzy is here. Mazzy, hope you'll think about joining us. You can if you want. There's a link on the top. I can post another one fresh if you like. This is an open discussion. Hi, Beatletti. It is a great day. It is. Afternoon, Robbie. Thanks for joining us, as always. Will there be any rockers on the album, or do you think they will all be acoustic and reminiscing of the past ballads? Well, so far, it's all just guessing, because nobody knows for sure. There hasn't been a rundown yet. Nothing behind the scenes that we've been privy to. Just guessing, really. And there we go. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I played it like 10 times. Wow. Hi, Caitlin. I'm glad to hear Caitlin weigh in on this. I don't know if today can get any better. A new McCartney song, which is beautiful, and the Mets won opening day. Let's go Mets. I'm a Mets fan. I didn't even know, but I'm not obviously not enough of a Mets fan to even know they played and that they won. But I know every year. I know what happens. You get excited about it every year, and then they fool you every year. Okay, we got somebody in the wings. Hold on a second, and I'll bring you up in a sec. I got the green vinyl and CD off Paul's site. I must have missed the green CD thing. I might get the black LP, but I'm wondering if there'll be a deluxe edition coming out with more songs. As for me, I'm sticking with the black vinyl this time. Standard black vinyl as we bring Mazzy up here.
You shouldn't be alone in these trying times here.
No, I don't want to be alone with a subject like that. I want everybody to celebrate. And let's hear it, Maz.
In terms of limited color, you got to look. Vinyl is always limited. Now it could be 10,000 limited or 20,000 or 5,000. It's always limited. And the naysayers that say they make too many versions, well, just buy what you want. You don't have to buy any of them or buy one or two. It's the record company's job to sell as many copies for all their artists, whether it's a Beatle or anyone else. So if we're all victims of the McCartney 3 thing, I certainly was. But I like this song. I liked it better than I thought I would. I kind of would like Paul to do almost an all low-key acoustic thing. I know everyone likes a fast song, a slow song, but like what someone mentioned, Johnny Cash, when he was older, his voice is weaker, but it's an old weathered voice. An acoustic album like that could be what Paul needs right now. Instead of trying to be cool and hip with the latest producer, which he's using anyway, make it intimate. We'll see.
Well, I'm happy about the producer Andrew Watt, right? Who I liked what he did. I loved what he did with Hackney Diamonds, the Stones album. But I think I like what you're saying, and I know what you mean, and I kind of agree that don't try with this one to get too much modern or compete with everybody today. I think this is the right direction. He took a long time to do this album. I think he thought it through, and I think this idea, from what it seems to be, doing an album retrospective of your past from an older man's point of view now, looking back and reflecting, might be the way to go for this.
Like Ringo's been doing every other album. Oh, Liverpool. When I was Liverpool.
When
I was a kid.
He certainly has been there all over the place. With Liverpool. The new song reminded me of Here Today. I thought his voice was reminiscent of like on McCartney 3, the higher falsetto-y kind of voice, like Kiss of Venus, but also the song Seize the Day. He kind of does that higher voice, which I think works for him at this point a little bit.
Now, I haven't ordered any versions yet because I'm gone with the days. I'm jumping on everything right away. If a color sells out, I don't really care. I'll probably just as soon get a black version. I'm fine with colored vinyl. We'll see. I might wait and go to my local the morning of, because when you order from these artist sites and labels, you probably get it the next week. So right. I might just go and show up. I have an easy street here. I'm in Seattle. I might go. They open at 9 in the morning, so maybe that Friday morning, I may just go there and grab it. So
well, luckily I have at least one store that stocks new stuff. They specialize in new stuff, so I can go there the day of and get it. Maybe 2 stores that I know of that do that. So I don't really order things online if I don't have to, although I did them. That's what I did for the Man on the Run soundtrack. I ordered that one because that one I went for the orange vinyl. I went for,
and I have to say, I just got back Monday. I was in Los Angeles for 4 days for Vinyl Con and some things there.
Yeah,
and I did register for the McCartney shows at the Fonda. I've been to the Fonda before. It's a cool theater. It only holds 1,000, 1,200 people, and I was denied. I did not get it. So I would have stayed in LA with my friends if I had gotten a ticket. But maybe Paul knows I like steak.
You said that somewhere. Was it Rachel's? I saw that.
Yeah, I said on Instagram or whatever. Or
Instagram, maybe. Yeah, I saw that somewhere. Maybe that's what it
is.
A
meat eater. Out of here.
Yeah, somebody who's heard Ringo's new album says it's even better than Look Up. I didn't like the new Ringo single at first listen. I didn't. Whereas I do like the Paul song.
What's the date of the Ringo? I didn't pre-order it either.
I think it's April 24th.
Okay.
Yeah. Mazzy, this time with Beatles solo stuff, you got Ringo April 24th with his album. Then you got John and Yoko with the one-to-one concert in theaters on the big screen on April 29th, I believe. And then you got Paul's album in May. So a lot of stuff comes
I
around
saw
these days.
the last October. I was in Los Angeles they had a screening, like a press screening of One to One. So I saw the whole music thing. It's great. So I might probably go see it again, but I saw it at the Dolby owned theater in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard.
Wait a minute, what did you see the whole thing or just the? Because I went to
it's
the whole thing.
Yeah, they played the whole thing. It's really good. It's good.
Oh wow! Because
unless this is a different version. I think it was only an hour. How long is this one? I don't even know.
Oh, I would think it would have to be a little longer than that, but
maybe it was an hour and 15. But it was, unless they are adding thing, I'll go see it again. But it was great. I loved it. I mean, I liked what Sean did with the one-to-one, the sound on that. It made it a whole great thing. So
sorry. Yeah. Well, I did get. I went to Manhattan. I did get an invite to go to the listening party for Power to the People, a box set, and they did screen about 3 or 4 songs from the film. That's all I saw was 3 or 4 songs, and it looked and sounded amazing.
Yeah, it did.
Got to say, did I say hello to Penny Lane? Hello, Paul's song sounds amazing. Most people, I'm getting mostly positives from the song. Only a couple of people said they didn't care for it. Hello, Conga Man. No, I'm not gonna say that for me. I'm very honest. I'd say I don't like it. For me, if you're talking about the new song, I think it's pretty good. I would tell you, it didn't do anything. Just like the Ringo song, I said I didn't like the Ringo song.
Yeah, I liked it better than anything on McCartney 3 so far, I think.
A lot of people are saying that, and I don't know about that. I mean, I did like a few songs off McCartney 3 quite a bit, but I don't know yet. I only heard the new song one time when it premiered from England, and I didn't play it again. But I liked it on the first listen. So, song sounds similar to Johnny Cash's version of "Hurt," and that's a good thing.
That's a great thing. That's a great song.
I say hey to Elliot. Hi, Elliot. I didn't say hello.
Hey, Sam. Americana
Who's
Sam.
that?
Americana Sam is here.
Oh yeah, I gotta like I'm way up. I didn't get there yet. I don't know who everybody is. I gotta try to.
It's hard to keep up on live streams. I tell you.
Yeah, I usually do pretty good, but when you get multiple people, it gets tough because we talk. If it doesn't knock you out, maybe it grows on you. Well, that happened. It's happened to me with a lot of Paul songs. I could name albums I heard by Paul McCartney the first time, and I was like, I don't like it too much. It doesn't grab me. And then on like the second or third time, I'm like, oh, there you go. There's the hooks and everything.
Yeah, Hurt isn't Johnny Cash. Hurt is a 9 Inch Nails song. It's not a Johnny Cash song.
Okay. Hi, I got to say, I really like this new track from Paul. Voice is good too. Been a long time fan. All the best from Scotland. Thank you for joining the conversation. I think it has an easy listening vibe, no matter what color vinyl it's on. I'm going to go faster here. April and May will be great. Ringo's album will be a great appetizer to Paul's main course album. Everybody says that, I'm going to tell you something. Let's base McCartney 3 on Ringo's Look Up. Ringo was superior, So I'm just saying, a lot of people have said that. I was watching another live stream recently where people were saying, well, Ringo's album will come out first. That'll be the warm-up act. Then we'll get Paul's. Now, I expect this album. I'm starting to get vibes that this album's by Paul. It's going to be quite good. But if Paul's album is half as good as Ringo's Look Up was last year, I'll be happy. That's what I'm trying to say. So
I've been wanting for Ringo to do a country album for like 30 years because I love Buku's the Blues. And it's like as these artists age, instead of trying to chase whatever the new hip thing is, Paul does that sometimes too much where he gets the hippest, coolest producer to do something and just be true to yourself. I mean, he's a great songwriter. And, that's the one thing Rick Rubin did with Johnny Cash. It's about the songs. So if he or T-Bone worked with Paul McCartney, talk about the song, it's not about the production as much. That's what I would like. So
I hear you. Okay, Ringo's unlistenable, cringeworthy. The lyrics are embarrassing. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Have you heard every Ringo song from every Ringo album? Are you sure? I don't know about that. Some of them are pretty poor lyrically, but I don't agree overall.
Bad boy, yo.
Yeah, and that's a cover.
That's a cover.
And I love that song. I tell you the truth.
Ringo the Fourth. Is that Ringo the Fourth? Or
it's from Bad Boy, the Bad Boy album.
Yeah,
and it's one of the most underrated of all Ringo albums, in my opinion.
We'll debate that some other day.
Yeah, well, I think what people do is they heard Ringo the Fourth and they just think they're all like that.
It's
well,
like,
I even like some stuff off Ringo the Fourth.
It's like when I was at I think I yelled out when the Two Legs were doing their thing and they were talking about Driving Rain. I can't stand Driving Rain.
No.
But
you know the story with that, or maybe you don't. I used to call it Thriving Pain because I didn't like it at all, and I called it that for many, 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 many years. I mean, I'd listen to it every now and then again. And I was like, no, something's got to be his least album, and for me, it was that. But in recent times, when I was doing Talk More Talk, we listened to it again for the first time in a while. I said, no, it's grown on me a little bit. It still might be my least McCartney album of original material. Maybe, but I like it better than I did, or dislike it less. How's that?
Yeah,
it's long. It's too long.
The question keeps coming up, and Beatles asks, "Do you think there'll be AI or autotune?" Now, there won't be AI in terms of creating a fake voice. Autotune, and the thing is, I'm not against that if it doesn't sound like that. A lot of pop hits and artists today and R&B do that faking thing that's as a shimmer. But think back, the Beatles always used weird effects.
Of course, yeah.
Day, whether it's singing into a speaker, Tomorrow Never Knows, slow down, sped up. So using effects of studio today, I think is fine.
Yeah. There's one song that Paul did on Egypt Station Time. It was called, oh boy, Nothing for Free. And it was really, really modern. And I liked it as a like fluke, as something different. I gotta see what I do is I go on the bottom to get the new comments, then I go way back up to see what I've left, and that's where I get a little messed up here. On Paul's site, there's a bit description about the songs. It does mention Wings rock as a theme for some of the songs. Well, hopefully there's at least one. I think I remember reading in the press release that it's a more mellow album. There we go. I wonder how many. Hello, Dusty. I wonder how many songs for the new album will be played this weekend, right at the Fonda. I bet you he'll premiere a song or two. No,
he's not allowing. I don't know if they're going to take some of these kind of things. They'll take away your phone. I don't know here. They're not allowing any phone use. People always do it, but
yeah. Someone said the Dungeon Lane sign is already stolen.
Well, they showed the picture of Google Earth, and I bet you that was faked. I have a feeling,
let's see. I went up, now I got to go down. This is where I'm getting delayed. Did I put this up? Hi from Barcelona. Hello. I have to say I enjoyed the single, but I didn't like the reverby style of the producer, Andrew Watt, and as do other people. Some people said they didn't like him either. I would have loved Rick Rubin to produce it with his Johnny Cash approach. What do you think, Maz?
I like Rick. Rick Rubin, some people, they love him or hate him because he's not a normal producer. He's not technical. He's kind of like a Zen Buddha. He tells the engineers what to do and he has a vision. But that's what's great about him. He wants these artists, like he did a great Donovan album called Sutras that bombed, but it's one of the best of later, from the 90s. And he did 2 Neil Diamond records where he stripped them back. And I think they did okay. But I thought it'd be great for him to do Paul, not some, hip new guy right now. But whatever.
There you go. Okay. Agree with the later Johnny Cash comparison. I love the song. Very poignant to hear him sing that way. Well, that's the thing too. People that are getting ready to sink their knives into his voice. I'm thinking if he sings like that, like he did the song "Early Days" from the album called "New," which I like very much. I mean, it's an old timer looking back on his youth, and he sounds wizened and aged. And I think that's a good approach if that's what he does.
What's that song I'm blanking at? Is it Back to the Egg? In the Heartland.
Yeah. Well, that was Love and Song from.
Love and Song. It reminds me a little bit of Love and Song parts of it.
Oh, it does. Oh, interesting.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I only heard it once. Okay. Andrew Watt also produced Elton John's record with Brandy Carlisle.
And he produced the last Pearl Jam album, and his albums are really compressed sounding. If you know about compression, sometimes rock albums put too much compression instead of making them dynamic, and that's what I don't like about some of his production. But
okay, I'm going to put the link up again. I'm waiting for the third man. That's made out of pieces of the road. Yeah, right. They're going to make something. Take the dirt or something. Who cares about the color of the vinyl? Well, some collectors like it. Some don't. That's fine. Whatever. Yeah, the set list. I wonder what the set list will be. I hope he changes it up a little bit. I say that all the time.
Yeah, Venus and Mars. That's one thing. Yeah.
I only ordered green, and I got to tell you something. This is an argument that I'm asking for, I guess, here. But I remember when he had in the past some albums like McCartney 3, where he had a lot of color variations, so that a lot of the diehard fans, I'm not saying it was his idea or the record company, would keep on buying and get his album the number one for the sales, right? Maybe. Now, the thing is, I remember objecting to that. And I know a couple of Beatle guys who said, well, he has to do that these days because they don't play his music on the radio. How else is he going to get a number one? Okay, fair enough. But what I ask is, if that's the case, who wants a number one that way? Would you really want it by how many?
It's a different world. I mean, Taylor Swift sells a lot of records, and she does multiple covers of her records. I remember back in the day, there's that. I forgot, the third Art Garfunkel record had like 4 or 5 different covers, like of him eating breakfast and different snapshots. Led Zeppelin did it on one of their albums. Different covers, and collectors would buy all 4 or 5 covers. So,
well, I know that other people do it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, what if I was an artist? I wouldn't want to think, hey, the reason I got to number one was because I had a lot of different versions for people to buy, the more collectors to buy, rather than the music itself sold it, spoke to everybody.
So do you think it's like Olympia star taking steroids to get ahead? It's a fake.
Yeah, or it's like some people out there who buy their subscribers. For me, I would never do that because to me, subscribers, I want to earn them all. I want to feel like I earned that kind of thing.
I agree.
Oh, look, I got 500,000 subscribers. I bought them all. That's not
the
same.
Police had different covers too on the Ghost. What's the one? The Black. Yeah.
What kind of moron would say that? It's the music, stupid. Who would say that?
Yep. I know.
No,
but it is. It's the music first, and then you get the sound.
Right. I love that too. You got to deal, as you probably do. Got to deal with a lot of commenters, and
of course,
I love when they say, "Who cares about the cover? Who cares about
thick skin? You got to have thick skin to do this, right, Joe? You got to just not take the.
Take the criticism. Yeah. Who cares about this? Who cares about that? And I'm saying to myself, well, of course the music comes first. They always say, I care about the music, not the cover. When I was criticizing the cover of the new album, just trying to be a journalist here, just trying to give every opinion of the cover, about the name of the album, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, my point is, of course, if someone put a gun to my head and said, you got to pick the music or the cover, I'll take the music first, stupid, of course. But what's wrong with also having an opinion on the cover on the side? I don't get it. Somebody's trying to come up. I'm having a hard time seeing the person, so we'll have to. I can't let you up here.
Sam asked about, wonder if Mike was putting time out for leaking the album. That was set up. Mike McGear, whatever, Mike McCartney. It was like a thing for him to do it. I mean, nothing is accidental these days.
I think he had Paul's blessing with that.
Things are snuck out, I mean, it's like labels send stuff out to some YouTubers and just to kind of tease things, and we all want to jump on and be the first to show something. Now, I've never gotten the only thing I ever got from the McCartney camp was a little bit of dice. Remember those dice
Oh yeah.
in the bag? That's all I got. I never got a record, never got anything McCartney, never Harrison. I've
Right.
gotten Lennon stuff. You and I have both gotten Lennon stuff, but
Well, I was surprised. There was only one time where I got something from the McCartney camp, or Capitol, we should say,
what'd you get?
and that was the 3 later versions of McCartney 3 that came out.
Oh,
I think in 2023, the 3rd anniversary, and they had those really weird swirl. It was a swirl vinyl. There were 3 of them, and I got all 3 of them. Now, it was weird how that. I don't know how that happened because I'd never gotten any McCartney stuff before or since. But all right, let me see. I'm going up and down here, and I'm trying to a DVD or Blu-ray soon. What are we talking about with that
what?
for?
Which?
I don't know what. See. That's the thing. I'm going up and down here. I gotta like go in order. Sorry for I'm missing some comments, but I'm getting a lot, and I just have to go back up. Okay,
Someone
there's people
wrote,
talking amongst themselves
Mr.
too. Hold
Bloodhouse
on.
Rose, Joe's girlfriend remembers the dice. Is that a private?
Oh yeah, that was the whole thing. But I'll talk about that when I get to it. If I get to it, it was a joke. Yeah, we did this. Yeah, well, you see, I'm behind. I want a lot of comments, but this is what happens when you get a lot of comments. All right, sorry, folks. I'm all the way where I've been already. There's 4D man. Hello, I don't leave the house. Yep. So I ordered from McCartney's site. I suppose I'll have to open the door to receive it, though. Yeah, you might have to do
4D
that.
man. I'm surprised you even ordered a Paul McCartney record these days. I know him. He's in the UK.
I love how much he's leaning into his older, more vulnerable vocal range. As I say, I thought of McCartney too. He wrote stuff that he could handle that way, that worked that way, and I hope he does that again. And I still like the idea of him being the elder statesman, or whatever you want to call it, wizened old guy, talking about the past. I mean, maybe it'll work for him. It remains to be heard. All right, we got somebody here that's just being a jackass. So all right, enjoy yourself. On Paul's site, there are 2 variations on the CD, some red or green on part of the title lettering. Yeah.
You know, in 6 months or a year, there's going to be a like some kind of expanded or deluxe or something.
Oh yeah. I don't know if it'll be that long, Mazzy. If it'll take that long, but
no, I'm just
giving. What do you think? You like Buku's of Blues?
I love Buku's of Blues. I mean, I'm a big country fan. I mean, I always talk about the Beatles got me into country, you know, with Don't Want to Spoil the Party and Act Naturally and those things. But the Byrds, Sweetheart of the Rodeo, that period of time, I got really into kind of country and country rock. And so I kind of grew up with that stuff. And then I got into Merle Haggard and those kind of things. So I love that Ringo album.
Well, I was going to say Tor is already going to Paul. I was going to say Paul is already going to tour, but I think Japan. I don't know if he's going to make his way around where I am. I mean, I don't know how far he's going to go.
Dave, I'm going to answer a few things I see if they're directed to me. But did I buy the Flaming Pie Deluxe? I bought every friggin' deluxe. And do I regret any of them? I know Joe has sold off a couple. The Uber Box, the Cube. I'm glad. I hope they stop that nonsense. But I bought those.
I see we got Rachel there. Hello, Rachel. New song is good. I'm glad you like it. Thumbs up.
You hate Paul McCartney. No, she's a Lennon fan.
Yeah, me too. But you know, I'm a
Beatle fan. Yeah.
Will you see McCartney if he comes around again close enough? Or you had enough?
I always say no. I don't need to see him again. Last time I saw him was it 4 years ago? When it was, I guess.
That's when I did.
3 years. The last time. And the thing is, I went with 3 friends who were in their mid to late 40s. 3 friends who'd never seen a Beatle, and we ended up getting tickets here in Seattle at the Climate Pledge. and arena. And I warned them about his voice. And all three of them, we walked out. They loved it. They loved it. They said, "What's wrong with his voice?" And we know how it is. It's not
Well, that's
as it
it.
was.
Exactly.
But they just loved the show. They couldn't believe, and they were like chilled. And they're in their, mid 45 to 50, I think the four of them were. And I had seen them 20 something times. So it was great. So I don't know if I would still see him.
But I say the same thing. I think I've had enough. I don't know. But then I think, well, it's been 4 years or 5, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And then I enjoy it. Like you
loved
said,
to have seen this Fonda show just because,
No, it's intimate.
And I always kick myself. I had a friend at 8 a.m. called me when I lived in San Francisco and said, "Can you get on a flight to LA now?" And he had a wristband for me when McCartney played at Amoeba in LA. And it's like an hour and a half flight. And it just was, I was working, and it would have been expensive. I should have done it somehow. I don't know if I would have made it, but.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. When you're actually at the stadium, though, or wherever at the gig with McCartney, everybody enjoys it.
Yeah.
By the way, the song "Appreciate" from New. I love the album New, but I have to tell you, Caitlin, "Appreciate's" probably my least favorite song on it, as well as the Slash song. I think it's called "Road." But "Appreciate," I'm starting to appreciate that a little more when I play. I don't skip songs. I don't like this. I skip it because then as time goes on, I might appreciate it. Get it? Appreciate it. By the way, this kind of thing. This is a joke. Song number 8, "Come Inside." Is that a dirty song? No, but the way the world is today, everybody's triggered like that. Don't get me started with this kind of stuff, Massey. I'll go.
Well, I made a video. I don't want to get off track, but I did make a video, the Moby's comment about the Kinks' Lola song. If you saw that, I won't get into it, but
yeah, we won't talk about it too much here.
It's so ridiculous.
But these days, it's a phobic song. Whatever. I got news. I wish I could. I tell you, folks.
My second favorite band, the Kinks. So
why wouldn't if a guy? This is the thing. Why wouldn't you push it? The things I pushed her away. Why wouldn't you if you were that way, like the way the singer is in the song? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you say that? That's okay. Why wouldn't you?
But it's actually based on the Kinks' manager. It was a love song. It was actually a real story that he changed, and it was a happy ending. And it was a good heartfelt story. So Beatles were at
yeah, I'm just going through a bunch of comments so I could still do them. Okay, very good. Yeah, the new single is a good song, but his voice sounds like a tired old man with a shaky voice. That's because that's how he is. That's who he is.
Exactly.
And but the question is, I think, do you accept him as such, or do you not accept him as such? That's really all it comes down to. I try to accept him that way on his albums. So because I've said before, I take the trip with him. I've taken the journey. I mean, I'm a little younger than Mazzy, let's put it that way. But I didn't see them on Ed Sullivan or anything. But I was into the Beatles as a child in 66, 67. And I feel like I've taken the journey with Paul from, say, the 60s all the way through to now. And I'm older, too. I'm going to be 64 next month. And it's like, do I grow with him? Do I accept him that this is his stage now? He sings it and I'm with you. Or do I say, no, I'm not with you. I abandoned shit.
There's always been certain artists. Like one of my favorite artists was always Leonard Cohen. And his voice by the end had that low voice. He always had a low voice like that, but it got even lower. And
right. Leonard Cohen.
I love his later records, Leonard Cohen. So,
well, see, the thing with Leonard Cohen is I don't really know him well, but I heard some of those later voice things and I don't like it. But
yeah,
I'm not invested in Leonard Cohen like I am with Paul. I haven't felt like he's part of my life and part of my background of my whole entire life, years of growing up, going to school, going to work, etc. So I don't have that. Otherwise, I might have stuck with Leonard Cohen as well. Kind of the way I stick with
that, man. I'm a massive Dylan fan.
I was going to say Dylan.
His voice is not for everybody. I love his recent voice. I mean, I prefer the 60s and 70s, but I think he knows how to use his voice. I hope he does another album because his last album was also during the pandemic in 2020, and he did like a live little thing a little after that, but it's been 6 years since we've had almost a Dylan album, a studio album. I think he should do one personally.
I remember when I first heard him doing an album, which is one of my favorite albums, by the way, now, Slow Train Coming. I remember I thought at the time his voice was so bad. It doesn't get bad. Now I don't think so anymore.
Yeah.
And good instrumentation too. I mean, good. I think Mark Knopfler was on there too. I think on that album.
Yep. Great guitar.
And it's a good album, I think. And then in later years, I loved the album Tempest. And there's a song called "Pay in Blood," where his voice is really bad. But I mean, I love
a song about John Lennon on that album.
Yeah, and it's funny, that song I do not like. It's the only song on that album I don't like.
It's not a great record, but it's "Roll on John," isn't that the one?
Yeah, I feel like that song, in my opinion, even though I'm glad he did this song in a way, he waited so long to do a tribute song to John. And for Dylan, it's so cliched. He's using lyrics. I don't know what exactly another day in the life, another blah blah blah. You just say name check songs for Dylan. I didn't like that song. I thought it was below him. Don't count on this. Don't count on this. I know you like his name, but I don't know.
I need to get something to drink. I'll be right back.
Okay. The Police had different covers. Yeah. Yeah, right. Bye, because it was the pandemic and everybody was home, right? Exactly. Well, I wasn't home. I was out delivering mail. I was a mailman working during the pandemic. I had to deliver. I remember we were so scared. We thought that. I remember sitting in the postal truck. They had us so scared and programmed. I thought to myself, I'm sitting in a postal truck, and I had like Lysol wipes with me, and I was spraying the truck. I was spraying like the steering wheel. I was spraying. I was wearing gloves. I was trying to deliver mail with gloves. I mean, that's at the beginning stages of that. It was so freaky. You thought you just could be anywhere, and just stuff's looming everywhere to get you.
For 5 years, I had this guy named Edward, who was my local mail killer. He was the greatest guy, and he was so nice. Every time a records arrived, which was often, he would ring my doorbell. Because it's easy where, you wouldn't have to stay or anything. Just because he knows we would on Porch Pirates and Sun or whatever, he would just ring and then go. And I knew if I was home that records arrived. And of course, every Christmas he got a little bonus thing. So it worked out,
But Porch Pirates, I heard.
I've been lucky. I haven't experienced that, but I bet you they film it. I bet you they film. I think they film everything now.
Let's see. Okay. I bet Dungeon Lane will now be added to the Beatle location tour. I wonder if the people of Speak will. I found out that's how you pronounce that. Speak. I didn't know that. Will get upset with that. I don't think so. I think they'd like that. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is finally I get up to it. Joe's girlfriend remembers the dice. Well, the thing with that is my girlfriend, again, I always got to build it up. I don't want to take too long. She is such a supporter. She supports everything I do. She's the one that talked me into getting the Mind Games Cube. She's the one that talked me into getting the George Harrison crate.
You talked to him, but did she pay for it?
People don't understand. At the time, she had I wouldn't use my card. She'd use the card, and then I just give her the cash. So got it. No, she didn't pay for it. But anyway, be that as it may. So she appreciates everything. She's a collector of things too. So when I finally got the dice, I sent away for a lot of those boxes. They came. She was expecting this big thing with I don't know what you call it, like super duper packaging or something like that. And she gets this little tiny. I got several of them. I don't know if you ever got any of those, Mazzy, in the little white, look like little pastry boxes with the white pastry boxes from McCartney with the 3 dots on the side from McCartney 3. All these variants of the McCartney 3 things. I don't know if you sent for any.
No, I didn't.
And they came and it looked like, so she laughed her ass off, and I recorded her because I thought it was funny. I recorded, said, "You waited for all of this," and it said, "Oh, you got your box with the dots on it." It was like the most unimpressive looking, simple design, just a white box with 3 black dots. She found it humorous. That's all that means. So I went through a long-winded story, but let's see. Looking forward to the new album. I love the first song. What I also see now on YouTube that Ram is getting more credit, called the best McCartney. Well, that is a thing now.
That's been a while.
Yeah, for a while. I mean, it's really gotten. It's my favorite McCartney album. Whenever I rank McCartney's albums, I put Ram first for me. Now, so apparently, Paul got mugged in dungeon when he was a kid. I believe Mike's son designed. That's what I heard. I think Mike's son designed the album cover, so it was all set up for the leak to be made. Yeah, okay, there you go. Okay, 4D still here. Tired old voice feels apt at this late stage. He's being congruent instead of being Mick Jagger. The whole album will be about letting go, I'm guessing. And I don't, nobody wants to say this could be the last album with Paul. He's a workaholic. He works to keep himself going. We love that he does that. But, I got to tell you, this could be, who knows, maybe him making a final statement. I don't know. But I heard that he recorded about 25 songs, and this album will have 14 on it. So there may be more songs.
Maybe it's time for a new Wings box set.
Yeah, another one. The song has gone into the UK iTunes chart at number 25. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? Yeah, I have the song titles listed in one of my newest video. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up if I can. It's hard to do. Did you I asked, wait a minute, the Flaming Pie Deluxe, did you answer that?
Yeah, I got all. Yeah,
that I didn't get. The gigantic Flaming Pie box, that I did not get.
I got the suitcase also.
No, that I didn't get. See, I skipped things. I didn't get that either.
But I'm over that now. That was when I was in my 60s. Now I'm hitting 70s.
Yeah. So Mazzy, that's my new thing. If I'm starting to feel that in my 60s,
yeah.
Since you just got into your 70s, you must be feeling some of that too.
Yeah, I am. Because someone mentioned up here, I don't know if it's, they said the All Things Must Pass Zoetrope's going for $500 on. Is it actually selling for that?
Well, sell it.
If someone wants to buy mine for $500,
didn't you do that with something?
Oh, I did it with. Okay,
the Third Man vinyl, was it?
I bought the special 300 copies of the Third Man 3, the handmade one. They only did $60. I woke up, I saw it on my iPhone, I bought it, $60. Within like 3 or 4 minutes, it sold out. I kept it for 3 or 4 months. I don't usually flip things, but they were going for $3,000. I ended up selling it for $2,600 about 3 or 4 months after I got it. So it paid for all the. I figured for that price, if someone wants to pay $2,600 for that record, I don't need it on my shelf.
Right, and I got you. Andy Nichols said the Intimate show. He went to the Bowery in New York City last year, was his favorite ever. I could understand that. I mean, he was a very intimate setting. And I saw Paul like that in 1992. He was only 50 then. I'm just saying. And it was at the McCartney Up Close show at the at Sullivan Theater before it became the David Letterman Theater. And I had won tickets on the radio, and I got up close, as they say. I got about 6-7 feet away from Paul, standing in front of the stage, or off to the side, more like close to Robbie McIntosh, really. And Paul was on an angle in the center. And I got to tell you, you want to talk about intimate? You want to talk about the best shows? Even if you get a front row seat at a stadium show, there's still a huge gap. You know what I mean? I know what it means to be up close. I'm not bragging, but I'm saying I'm proud of it that I got it. The only time in my life I ever won anything substantial. I won radio tickets.
In 1971 or 2, there's a place called the Berkeley Community Theater, which I used to go to a lot. It's a great place. And they have the seats, and then there's like an open pit area, but they had 3 rows of folding chairs, and they led us to the very front row. And literally, I could touch the stage right there. and it was the first or the second American tour of Elton John, when Elton John was there with his trio. And literally, he shook our hands. He was right there after. The perfect time. It was one of the best like close-up shows I ever saw, that period of Elton John.
Man, what are you talking about? Road is excellent. Yeah, well, like I say, when I play the album, I always say when I play the album new, I say that all the time, because if you say I play the new album, the new album, I don't skip it. That's the last song I play it, but yeah, no, something's got to be a lesser favorite. We all have different favorites. Yeah, when you see Paul today, it's all about the experience. I agree. His band is so good, you don't notice the imperfections in Paul's voice. That's it. So you go in there for the experience and to be with a living icon legend in the same space. I get it. Okay. There you go. Foo Fighters. Anybody like the Foo Fighters?
I think they're boring, personally, but
everybody take into see that I go both ways, because listen to me, I'm talking out of two sides of my mouth. On the one hand, I say, yeah, they're giving the guy a break. The guy's going to be 84, for God's sake. Give him a break. That's why he sounds that way. Either accept it or you don't accept it. Then the other time, I'm saying to myself, oh, man, maybe he should stop touring and just save his voice for studio work, And, man, I don't know. So I go both ways on it. I can't help it. I'm being honest about it. The weaker voice thing, it's just knocking him for daring to get old. Well, I don't want to, I'm sorry. I got to disagree with you. In a way, some people do that. Some people are, I guess, are going after him just because he's older. But the thing is, like me, I'm a Beatles fan since the early days, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm trying to report from, I say journalist, because I don't know what other word, as a YouTuber. My channel is about telling it as I see it and hear it. And I'm just noticing, like, for example, Ringo. Everybody knows how wonderful Ringo has aged, how he looks good, he sounds good, But even Ringo now, I'm picking up, is starting to sound a little slurring a little more, is slow down. He's going to be 86. Now, that's not a criticism, Gary. That's not picking on Ringo. I'm just reporting. I'm just saying that's how he seems to me. You know what I mean? It's not a knock. It's just an observation. That's all. I hope I live that long and I'm half as healthy as Ringo. But there you go.
Dave, Dave Grohl is. I had liked Dave Grohl. Obviously, I like Nirvana a lot, but he's become like Phil Collins and Bono. He's in every friggin' rock and roll documentary as an expert. So I get tired of him, but at least, yeah.
I don't care too much about vocals, especially ones that are deemed perfect by society. That's why I love Dylan, Waits, etc. I'm Your Man, 1988 by Leonard Cohen. It's a great album.
It is great. But I'm an all-in Leonard Cohen fan, so.
Yeah. Maybe that's what Paul's going for. I think. Yeah, I like Duquesne Whistle. I like that song. Yeah. I like almost all of the album of Tempest. I like most of the songs on there. It's my last really, really favorite album. And even the much acclaimed album, oh boy, Rough and Rowdy Ways, I don't love it as much as everybody does. I remember thinking that the lyrics were good, but I thought I wanted more in the way of tunes. I only played that album once. I got the CD and I played it once, and that's what I thought on the one listen. I thought maybe I'll got to listen to it again.
Where are all the your Beatle buddies? They're not here. I thought they'd be coming.
I don't know. They're allowed to come up if they happen to know I'm on and stuff. I did send it up.
Channels.
I suspect. Now I don't know if it's true. I'll put another one of these links up here. I suspect. When you're doing this, I don't want to put words in their mouths or anything, but you want to save it for your own thing sometimes. Could be that maybe they don't want to give it away here. It could be. I don't know, but I'll put the link up again. I don't even know if
been about a ton. I think you did 2 or 3 already, right? Videos?
Yeah.
I haven't done it. I recorded some for tomorrow, but it's not only McCartney. It mentions McCartney, but It's about new releases. So
60s and
I saw
70s.
you and Andrew and did Two Legs do it? I don't know if they did yet, not yet. But I saw
They did something last night, I believe.
Matthew Street. There's probably
Yeah.
others. There's a few others.
Looking forward to the new album, but I'd be far more excited for an archive release of London Town, as would I. I got the London Town poster I stuck here, one of the ads. Yeah, and Back to the Egg especially, because I want Back to the Egg to get a little more love, personally. Yeah, see, even this with Paul, you mean Ringo's talking? Ringo's talking voice has even changed. It's gotten more. He slurs his words a little more. He's old. Again, I'm not knocking him or insulting him, but and Paul's voice has changed as well. But I remember Paul sometimes is better than others. I remember him Paul doing a Magical Mystery Tour commentary track, and it was pretty rough. And so I've heard him since then. He's better at times.
I'm hoping the concert for Bangladesh comes out finally. That's what I'm waiting for in terms of the Harrison estate, because the Harrison estate goes 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. They're doing the zoetropes and stuff, and they do a little teaser. They don't go all in on it. I mean, they went overboard on Uberbox, definitely.
Yeah.
But a good concert from Bangladesh with the afternoon shows and the updated, because it's kind of out of print. You can't walk into a store and buy that on vinyl, at least. I don't know about CDs. It's not in print.
I'll say I don't know about vinyl. No, I don't think so.
But CD, there's no. I mean, you can buy a used copy, obviously, but I don't think it's in print.
That's one of my most least played things in my entire solo Beatles collection, to be honest with you. I play Concert for George every year, at least. But I don't know what it is about it. And I actually think that Dylan's is the best in that show. You know, I actually think
he's great in that show.
You know, I think
Billy Preston, I mean, you know, Leon Russell, everyone. Yeah.
What I would like to see, you know, is I've never seen Concert for Bangladesh at a theater. Now, to have that restored and put out in a theater again,
I bet you they do. I mean,
that I would like.
Yeah.
All right, we got 4D Man coming up here.
Oh,
4D Man,
my arch nemesis.
Oh, are you? I don't even remember that. You guys?
I know, not really.
I don't know anymore.
And the disagreements we have, we're not going to share on your channel, so don't worry about that.
Oh, okay, all right, that's good. So we will talk about that then.
Have you seen this book before?
I haven't.
What is that? Paintings by McCartney?
Yeah.
I have it.
Okay.
No.
So he did one painting in here called Home Territory. And it's a painting and a collage, which is autobiographical.
Now he's burning incense. He's not a heavy smoker.
People always wonder that. Yeah, it's incense. Incense.
His house is not on fire.
Incense.
I'll try and show you this painting twice. I'll hold it up here, but it won't be much use to you here because it's not close enough. But I'm
blowing it up a little bit.
Right, but you get the general idea, don't you? It's an abstract expressionist painting, but right in the middle of it, he's cut out in paper a sort of a route map of his routes in Speke and down to Forthland Road. So what I'm going to try and do,
it looks like 2 black figures kneeling at an altar or something to me.
Well, if it's a Rorschach test, maybe it is. But I'm going to try and take this camera off. So please don't get seasick, because I want to try and get focus closer on this painting, and the collage right in the middle of it is that. Oh, this camera's. Let's give it a second to.
Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, I see Speak up there.
Okay, have a look around and see what other names you can read on the streets there.
Okay, Dungeon. I see the Dungeon Lane on the right. I see Speak.
There you go. You found it.
Yeah.
So you found it, Dungeon Lane.
Yeah, sure.
And
there you go.
Get it.
If you look lower down, I don't know if you can see it on there. Can you see the number 72?
Yes.
Yes, right. On the left.
Right. People think I didn't have the heart to correct Beatley Tone the other day, but people think that Paul McCartney met George Harrison on the 86 bus. It was the 72 bus. It was
bus.
Yeah, it was before he moved to Forthland Road. So that's why Paul McCartney's written 72 on this little map.
Interesting.
So there you go.
That's wild. I graduated high school in 72, and so that's a Kumbaya-esque experience. Paul and I are like this.
and if you really want to trace the roots, that's what you go out and buy.
Okay.
This is a 1957 Liverpool bus guide, which has the maps and the routes and the fares of all the bus routes at that period, 1957.
Yeah, I agree. It's a shame that Lennon never got to have such a wide discography like Macca. Imagine, no pun, if he was here too, releasing new stuff. Yeah, it makes me sick, actually. Makes me sick.
I think Dungeon Lane is the lane that led down to the cast iron shore, if I remember right.
Oh, does 4D Man want a link? Oh, I just got to it. Yeah, Mick Jagger to me sounds great on Hackney Diamonds. I mean, I don't know how much of it is effects, but he sounds really good, I think. Here's what some of the terrible lyrics for Roll on Johns. Shot him in the back and down he went. Come on, man.
I will put it on the record that I actually enjoy the Bob Dylan Christmas record. There you go.
I like it for a laugh, completely for a laugh.
I mean, you can't not. Here came Santa Claus.
well, Must Be Santa is a good fun track. That's just a fun track, but I think it's hilarious. When I was working at the post office, we'd start the day getting our mail sorted indoors, and we put it on so they could hear all the people in the lobby buying stamps could hear Dylan's Christmas song on Christmas time. It was hilarious, you know.
Gary, it's later, but I got to answer this right now. If Lennon were here, no doubt you'd all be complaining about his weak old voice. If it was a weak old voice, we'd say it's a weak old voice. Yes.
Exactly. I don't know what.
And it's not just Beatles; it's any old person. Some people have a voice that works in old age, and some people don't. And it's just the way it is. And some people adapt and change it and work within it. I mean, for a while, I thought Paul was writing stuff that it was not appropriate for his voice. Personally, that's my take. Mm-hmm. And hopefully, Gary, this record is more in his range.
Where are you going with this, Gary? I don't know. I mean, are you like, is it like, well, Paul, don't ever criticize Paul? I don't know if that's where you're going, Gary, but that bugs me a lot. See, I always call them diehard McCartney fans, but then I say, well, I'm a diehard McCartney fan. Why am I calling them diehard McCartney fans? But I mean, the diehards that will not let it go. They will not criticize him for nothing. Every song is fine. Every performance is good enough. He never should have got criticized for anything he ever did. Come on, Broad Street, give the guy a break. Come on. No. Sometimes everybody, Lennon too. Everybody, obviously, Lennon got his share of criticism, Lord knows, with his life. But come on, man. I call it out that's why when I told you today, folks, in my video that I like the new McCartney song, I mean it. There's McCartney people out there. They already got their mind made up that it's going to be a great album before it even comes out. They're going to like it. With me, you never know. I may not like it, or I may like it, or I may be like this because I'm honest and modest. I just hate people. Oh man, it's like, God, don't ever criticize Paul. Hello, Angelo Mysterioso. Yeah, I enjoy doing shows like this. Yeah, I do, because people want to talk about the new McCartney song. Oh, you're ridiculous. You're pathetic. Ringo's voice got slurred a lot more in the mid-70s. Guy was drunk all the time. Give the guy credit. The man's been sober ever since
35 years or something.
1988. He turned his life around. They said he would be dead when he was a kid. He had all kinds of illnesses. He's going to be 86 years old. He turned it around. He stopped using and abusing. He's out there making albums. He's touring with his all-star band for 35 years, whatever. Give the guy a break, will you? The guy's doing great, better than you will. I have to say that because I'm tired of everybody coming down on Ringo. You know what I mean?
And he married a Bond girl.
Yeah, look at that. He got the
centerfold.
The most beautiful woman of all the Beatles. Come on. Oddly, Ringo's musical outlet the past 6 years outnumbers Macca and Dylan. Well, the thing with Ringo is a lot of it's very samey. It's very samey.
I got bored with those EPs he put.
Yes. You know,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Can it be possible that someone out there loves the solo stuff but not the Beatles? Is that impossible, or is that impossible?
I've heard stories about people like the Wings and McCartney stuff more than Beatles.
I've heard it too. Yeah,
you know, it's just, and that's fine. I mean, like, you know, you can't argue with someone if they like something you don't like. You can tell them they're wrong. You wouldn't be wrong. Like, I think Paul should have been put in prison by writing the song Mamounia.
There's so many worse songs by him than Mamounia. Are you kidding me? I know you always say that.
Mamounia.
Mamounia is a decent song. How about the rest of it? Not just that part, not just the chorus. What about the rest of it? It ain't bad.
To me, first, the best album McCartney's is Ram. The second best is Wildlife, hands down.
Well, that says it all. There you go. But I appreciate Wildlife.
And then Electric Arguments.
Oh, well, I do like Wildlife, by the way. I do, but I would never put it on the top. But
you know, if he had put out Electric Arguments under the name Paul McCartney and it was really promoted well, and he played that on Letterman on the rooftop, member of the El Sullivan Theater. That was a great
that was nice.
album. That album needs to be reissued. It's not available now on vinyl.
Yeah. Well, I got to say though, I have encountered this too, like you said, Mazzy. I've seen people that love McCartney. They think that the Beatles was McCartney's first band before he before he did his thing. And like you said, it's okay. People like what they like, but the thing, I think it's natural now because in the beginning it was a little strange. In the 70s, say Paul McCartney, you like him but like more than the Beatles. But now that so much time has passed, I think he's gone to that Phil Collins phase. I don't know if that's the best example. Let me know if you can think of a better one. Somebody was in a group and then he became big solo, and people don't even sometimes even pay much attention to Genesis or whatever. I hate to think that Paul got to that point, but he did get there.
I'm sure he has. I mean, look it's been 56 years since the Beatles split up. That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, you can like, you know, be a Paul McCartney fan and then go back and let me listen to his other band when he started the Beatles.
This McCartney album, okay, almost 6 years after the last one, right? Us Americans, we only had 6 years of the Beatles from 64 to 70, really. So look at all those Beatle records in those 6-7 years. And in 6-7 years, we got 2 McCartney albums, plus a lot of reissues and whatever. But, I mean, all those albums in, 8 years, 7 years.
It's amazing. It's nothing short of amazing. Yoko's performances at the 1-to-1 were rocking. I heard one today, very B-52s. There's a song called Move On Fast that she does that I really like.
I love Yoko's records.
Yeah.
I'm a Yoko.
She's underrated. I'm just going to say this with Yoko. It's what I call Yoko derangement syndrome. Yoko can do no right. She can't breathe. She can't blink. Anything Yoko does, some people go against it just because it's Yoko.
Yoko's the kind of artist.
I prefer Danny's singing to Yoko's.
Well, Yoko's an artist that's not for the masses. She shouldn't be for the masses. She's a cult figure as an artist. However, she got thrown into the Beatle world with the masses, and the masses don't get that kind of like a band like Sonic Youth out of New York. That was a noisy industrial rock band. They've opened up for Neil Young on a tour. Half the audience booed him and walked out during their opening. They're not for everybody.
No, she's not for.
Are you saying it's above the masses, Maz? Is that what
That's
you're
just
saying?
different. It's not for above. That sounds snooty. I'm not saying snooty, but not. It's like I saw 2 shows Yoko did over the years, last year or year before, at the Tate Modern, the Yoko retrospective. It's amazing art show. If you don't know the history of her as an artist with the Fluxus movement and John Cage, all the experimental stuff, that's not for everybody. That's modern art, conceptual art. It's not. And so all of a sudden, this woman who's not a model is dating a Beatle, and she's singing weird and she's doing weird things. Probably saved John's life initially, maybe.
I agree.
I know she did an art piece at the Blue Coat in Liverpool before she met John Lennon, and it was the wrapped bandage piece where somebody wraps her entirely.
Is it? Oh, right. Not cut piece.
Not the cut piece. No, to mummify her, basically.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Wrap bandages up while she sits there, and in the audience was John Gorman. And John Gorman was 1/3 of the scaffold. He was the guy with the aquiline beak and the comb over hair.
I have those scaffold albums too. Yeah.
Right. Well, apparently he was the biggest.
And the Grims.
He was the biggest. He was the biggest wag out of all of them. A bigger laugh than Mike McCartney and a bigger laugh than Roger McGough. He was just very extrovert, and he waited until the last bandages were wrapped around Yoko, and then he shouted out, "You're wanted on the phone," and that got a big laugh. And I think John Gorman was the guy who turned that particular Yoko performance into an art piece. And without John Gorman's line, I don't think it would have been art.
Well, all I know is you said something before, Mazzy, about save. John said she saved me from a kind of death. Let the man speak for himself. Let him say who he likes, who he loves, who helped him. Not you people, though she wasn't good. He should know. But anyway, as far as the singing goes, it is an acquired taste. And you have 4D Man saying, "What'd you say about Danny?" I missed it.
A better singer.
He thinks Danny is a better singer than Yoko. Make up your mind here.
We're so sorry, Uncle Albert. We're so sorry if we caused you any pain. The kettle's on the boil. We're so easy brought away.
I would buy a Danny vinyl album. I would buy.
You would?
Yes, I would. Honestly.
4D. Do you know who Daniel Johnson was?
No.
He put out some albums, and all these people like Wilco and all these people jumped on his bandwagon. Famous. He was this autistic guy that made these records and these little drawings. Famous T-shirt Kurt Cobain wore of his stuff. They're kind of like that.
Oh, really?
And there's albums of his that are just like that Danny piece, and they're really kind of cool. They're good records.
Okay.
Well, nobody sings it. I don't care what, no matter who you are, Danny wise. This Danny is the best singer.
Come on, not touch me, babe. Can't you see that I'm not afraid? What was that promise that you made? Why can't you tell me what she said? What was that promise that you made?
Oy vey.
He doesn't hold back, does he?
Yeah, Ken Love.
Yesterday, all your troubles seem so far away. Now it looks like they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday.
We'll phone you.
I love it.
I don't even have the smoke here, and I'm coughing.
They should release those on an EP for Record Store Day.
I bet McCartney would love to hear that too.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
Maybe we should open for Paul at the Fonda.
Yeah. Somebody asked me about his Ram. Do I think it's his best? I wanted to see because I can't find the quote now. Some other things here. Paul's aging voice adds to the mood so well.
I think Memory Almost Full is his best solo album, and next to the Primal album, the best.
It It is good.
Beatles album. I just think it's, and I only heard it for the first time 2 years ago.
The first 4 Ringo albums are excellent. I mean, I don't know about excellent, but Buku's the Blues, Sentimental Journey, which is the oldies, like the standards. Obviously, the Ringo album, Goodnight Vienna, is great. I like Rotogravure. I think that's a really good record.
Yeah, it's funny. That's going a little better in ratings lately when I talk to
like
people.
that record a lot.
Well, do you like Time Takes Time, which I love?
Yeah.
That's his comeback album. That didn't do anything.
That's a good.
So he's got some albums there. Let's see now. No, exactly. Yeah. Electronic Sound. Yeah. Sorry if I couldn't get all the comments here, but I actually like Why Not. I'll tell you. I don't know if you're kidding around, Richard James, or not, but I like Why Not. It's a 2010 album. Well, no, I think does that have Who's Your Daddy on it? If that's what you're talking about. Josh Stone? Not really. Michael Nolan won't be buying Macca's latest or going to the Fonda. Oh, well, come on now. I got to say, Two Legs made a point. I don't want to get involved too much there, but Two Legs proved that the McCartney Fonda tickets are like $250 or something.
They're $230 plus. It came out to $260 a piece.
Right.
However, there are VIPs for $1,600 a package.
VIP, yeah.
And I'm surprised. I know that friend of the Two Legs, and I forgot her name, is going to 2 shows. I'm surprised. Joan Borelli. I'm surprised. No offense to her, but that maybe she used different emails. I don't think anyone should be able to get tickets for 2 shows for something like that. No offense to Joan personally, anybody. It should be like different people for all the shows when it's that little. That's my personal take. But I'm sure she deserves it. She's an all-time fan, and it's not I'm not picking on her. Yeah, she waited in line many times. I get that. But when you have a show like that, one person each one, I think would be a fair thing.
Now, Joan's been over 100 shows. Over 100 McCartney shows. So anyway, whoever was asking me what I thought that I think that Ram was his best album. I get sometimes nitpicky with best versus favorite. Like, I don't know. Now I Ram is always my number one. Do I think it's his best? That's hard to, like, technically. I don't know, maybe. But also I do think Band on the Run deserves its accolades. And Band on the Run, Venus and Mars, Tug of War, those 3, Flaming Pie, those might be more technically better. I don't know, but Ram is my favorite.
I like parts of both of those. You know what I get tired of? To me, it's dated. Is to me part of Band on that part, stuck inside these 4 walls. That synthesizer drives the hell out of me.
Yeah. Well, I do love it. I got to admit. The problem I have with it is that song is that it's one of those songs that's so played out for me.
Yeah,
I used to love that so much. I still do, but I'm tired of it. Whereas something like the song Jet that comes right after it, I never get tired of that song. I can hear it on the radio. If I catch it on the radio, I love it. I'm rocking to it.
I like London Town. I like Back to the Egg, and I like the Hugh Padgham one. What's the one with the black and white portrait?
Oh, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard?
No. The one with
Press to Play?
I love Press to Play.
Oh, I'm sorry, Press to Play.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where he did a video where he went into the London Underground?
Yes.
And
with
a minimal
that cover
crew.
photograph was by Hurrell, the big Hollywood player, did all the great Hollywood of the 30s and 40s, those portraits of movie stars.
And that cover had nothing to do with the album. I got to tell you, I've never been a big fan of Press to Play.
In fact, no, is this one of your famous rants?
Well, in 2013, I had enough of it.
Now, this album, I just can't take it.
Wow, you were like a little boy in those days.
People say that. I think I look the same. No, okay. People always say that.
You look like Mickey Rooney in that one. You look like you're shorter than you.
Yeah. Wow. You know, it is what it is. But I can't stand. What anybody here not like football besides me?
I don't like football.
I hate football.
You mean US
No?
US football?
U.S. football.
Yeah, there's only one, because for me, there's only one thing about football I like at all, and it's this.
Hey, are you ready for some football? Yes, it's Monday night. Let's go!
That's it.
The problem with Monday Night Football is that's when most of America heard about John Lennon dying. Howard
Yeah.
Cosell.
Well, I didn't. Luckily, I didn't hear it from Howard Cosell.
I didn't either. Yeah.
You know, but I did. You know, without getting too morbid about it, I was getting ready for bed. I was 18 years old, and I graduated high school. I went right to work, and I had my first job, and I was on probation. I had to make sure I went in every day and everything. And I was getting ready for bed, like close to 11 p.m. And a friend called me. And when the phone rings, you know, sometimes when the phone rings 11 o'clock, like, what happened? Something. And he's telling me that, you know, it just started coming on the news. They didn't know what state John was in yet. So I had to, like, you know, just on the phone with my friend and watching the news, hearing the updates. Maybe it's not so serious. Maybe it's just a leg wound. Maybe it's and you know, so we went all the way through the whole ordeal. You know, but anyway, it's a sad thing, man.
You know,
when you think
Beetle
all
Eddie,
the things we missed.
$230 is not high. It's a lot of money. I'm not saying it's not.
Oh, come on.
But for a Beatle in a 1,200 seat place in 2026, for any major artist in a small theater like that, $230 is not high. It's a lot of money, and I'm not saying everyone can afford it, but it's,
yeah, no.
You know,
I mean, it's not $50, it's not $75, but these days, for an intimate place like that, like you said, a smaller place for one of the Beatles, ex-Beatles. These days,
people always say, "Well, Paul McCartney doesn't need the money." When you have a thing like that, all between the band, the security, the sound, all the stuff, it still costs a lot to produce those kind of shows, and the venue to get the thing, and all the marketing and you know.
Did Rob the Wax get a ticket in the end?
No,
Maz?
nobody I know got a ticket.
Damn.
We all got turned down.
Damn.
You know, I think the last perfect Paul McCartney song recorded is Jenny Wren.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. In fact, I know a guy today that was Mikey Arugula. If you know Mikey Arugula, he was just telling me that, you know. The thing here is, you know, I have a thing about people talking about songs being dated. You just said it a little while ago. The thing is, if a song is recorded in the 50s, say they go and do what, it sounds like the 50s. That's when it was recorded. You want it to sound like 2026? I don't want Venus and Mars to sound modern like 2026. Why would I? It's crap today.
Was it in New York that McCartney did a small arena and then
$50?
Wait, Matt.
Bowery Ballroom.
And then he decided to do. It wasn't scheduled, but he decided to do another one the next day, and you had to be right. So that might be the case in LA, then, might it not? He might decide to do another one.
Well, he did.
Yeah, it could be.
Playing 2 nights. He's playing 2 nights.
Okay, but he might decide to do another one. So you should get Rob the Waxed on Understarter's orders in case there's an extra one.
I'm not flying down at this point. I was just there.
No, good for you if you could do. I mean, I'm done with those. I used to wait on the lines. I used to stay overnight. I mean, I'm kind of done with a lot of that now.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Taylor Swift, over 1,500.
I mean, we used to go to 2 or 3 shows a week at Winterland, and the shows were $4 to $6, $7 tops. Rolling Stones with Stevie Wonder at XL on Main Street, 72 was $5.50. You know. And so if you think of minimum wage, then was probably in the Bay Area was probably $2.50 an hour, maybe. So you would work for 2 hours and you could buy a ticket, or 3 hours tops. Now, minimum wage here in Seattle is like $20, and you have to work 12 hours to buy that ticket, and a lot more. It's not, everything is cockeyed.
Well, you could argue that rock isn't grassroots anymore.
Yeah. Well, and it's the venues and it's a monopoly here in America with the ticket things, and they keeping it a monopoly, which is bullshit. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Too Much Rain. I like that song as well. Yeah. Yeah, and Jenny Wren, that really is like, I'm trying to think, like, is there a song later than that? Well, there's a song called House of Wax that I really like, and he sings it very well.
That's a great song. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And that's
Is that
on
the same album or the album after?
Memory Almost Full, the album after that. Yeah.
Right. Those two back to back. I think those two back to back, if you pick songs, you could make one perfect record. They're both good.
Yeah.
Songs of each.
Trying to think. I'm trying to think, like, is there anything? Well, I like the song. I like the album New, and the song Early Days, I think, is pretty good. I mean,
Which album is Song to Jaipur? What album is that on?
Oh, that's Driving Rain.
Memory?
Driving Rain.
Oh, I like that song. That's the only song I like on that album.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. I don't know that, and he can still sing fairly well on that, pretty good on that album still. So it's kind of grown for me a little bit, but it's
That's
not.
where he got his band. David Kahn, who produced that, brought the band together for him.
Yeah.
I was quite moved hearing that new song today, and the tone of it, the sort of frail tone of it, reminded me of that song on Memory Almost Full, where he's talking about the day that he dies, how he wants to be remembered. Do you remember that song on Memory Almost Full?
Yeah, the end of the end. The end of the end.
That's the one. You got it, Joe. Yeah,
that is amazing. That song. I love that too.
The frailty in that song, the vulnerability in that song. That's what I thought about when I heard the song today, and it was moving for that, but it was also moving because it might, who knows, it might be his last album, and it gets you thinking that guy has been putting out records, since the 1960s, pretty, he's to the point where he's become part of our personal unconscious, like as if because we've grown up with all that stuff, and as he's grown old, we've grown old too, and so it's
Speak for yourself.
that there's something deeply moving about that, and it's in his voice, and it's in the context of how long he's been in our culture, like central part of our culture.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I'm kind of going along with him, taking this journey with him and accepting it.
Yeah.
So Rubber Soul Box. Okay, that's one thing.
Yeah.
What I would like, in the vinyl world, I don't know how many people here are vinyl people in the audience, but all these labels now, not all of them, a handful of them are doing these audiophile series, and Universal has one called Vinyl File, PHYLE, and they put out a band album and a bunch of Capitol related Universal things, and they're just putting out a Beach Boys Pet Sounds. But I think 60 years ago, this year, yesterday and today, since they did this 64 box 2 years ago, a vinyl file edition, the butcher cover on the front, not stuck inside, of yesterday and today, an anniversary edition. I think that would be a perfect, like a summer release.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. As far as, the idea of Rubber Soul, I think we're going to get it. Everybody's worried. We're going to get it. Just cool your jets. I know it's been a wait, but then it's going to come out. Nobody's going to talk about it.
Will they do you think they would include a version of the American track list also?
I don't think so. I like the American. I think you do too.
I love it, the American.
Because you grew up in it. I love that. I'm still used to those songs. Being honest,
the majority of the world grew up with the American track list, even if it's not the Beatles' intent.
I hope they don't underestimate the value of the studio banter that you get in between takes, and to put that on some of the.
Well, they will for expanded, not for the proper album. They'll do like a CD.
Yeah, expanded stuff.
Maybe. Who knows?
It puts you right there in the studio at the point of creation.
Well, there's a version of Think for Yourself where they were in the studio a long time doing Think for Yourself, which is off Rubber Soul. By the way, I wanted to put this up. I also love that song, Everybody Out There, from the album New. It's pretty good. Were they talking about the new song? Blackbird, the new one? The new song? Yeah, Kiss is on the bottom. I don't have a problem with it per se, but I just feel like he waited too long to do it. Maybe he could have done an album like that a little earlier in his career. Maybe his voice would have been a little better.
I think
I'm all right.
that earlier comment was related to Maz talking about Jenny Wren, maybe.
Oh, it could be.
If it's Jenny Wren, definitely it has
if they
Blackbird.
don't want to do the American Rubber Soul in a box set, I understand that. Then do it for Black Friday Record Store Day as a one-off separate. That and Yesterday and Today as one-off separates.
Yeah.
Butcher cover. I think that would be great.
But, I'll defend the U.S. Capitol albums all day long. I've done a couple of videos and live streams on that. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, talking about gas. Yeah. I've heard this since I was 5 years old and didn't drive. I heard adults talking about the price of gas, and it'll go down, it'll go up, it'll go down, it'll go up. So just never changes.
The price is higher than the time before.
I love that line.
He has a incense in front of him. Oh, actually, you are smoking too, though, aren't you? No,
incense and peppermints.
It's incense. It's not cigarettes and not pot.
He has to answer that every time he's on.
Yeah, well, it looks like his place is on fire. We called 911, but they wouldn't know how to find you wherever you are.
I don't know the story of the limited re-release of the Beatles mono box. I'm drawing a blank on that. Predicting a number one. Well, if he sells enough colored vinyl to the collectors, he might wind up getting the number one out of it again.
Well, who else? Is there any like Sabrina Carpenter's or Olivia Rodrigo or Taylor Swift albums coming out in May? Have we heard?
There always seems to be one right at the same time.
He would never win against those things. He just won't. I mean, nor that he should really. I mean.
Yeah. I did not get the reissue the recent reissued Capitol.
They're really good.
Yeah, you got them right.
They're not bad. Capitol albums came out, but my pressings weren't bad. You got a bum box, then it's too bad.
As a Brit who grew up with the original Beatle albums, I do think that the U.S. Rubber Soul is a great album. There you go. I love the original UK. But I dig the U.S. Rubber Soul. And the argument that I always make, too, when people are putting down the U.S. Revolver is, if you ask me to pick one Revolver album to listen to, I'd pick the UK every time, obviously. Yeah. However, in the U.S., we had already gotten the Beatles Yesterday and Today, which had a preview of 3 John tracks from Revolver in Britain. They were released on Yesterday and Today before Britain got them.
3 or 4 months earlier.
And what was it? It was I'm Only Sleeping and Your Bird Can Sing. And
Dr. Robert.
So now after that,
Lennon songs are
three great Lennon tracks.
It kind of wrecked Revolver for us, but
so then a few months, whatever it was, months later, Revolver comes out in the U.S. Why would you have those songs on there again? You wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, I got to say this. This is my opinion, but I think a lot of people might agree. I miss John and George because I felt they were the most intellectually stimulating Beatles and the most interesting Beatles to talk to, and maybe lyrically and musically. But Paul and Ringo have always been the most commercial and the most like out there, always making themselves available on TV. In making records all the time, doing movies, doing things. So the most accessible Beatles were always, it seems to me, Paul and Ringo. So
I'm actually looking forward to the Claypool Lennon album. I like I've seen them twice and they're excellent live.
Yeah, I really need to give that a listen so that
it's like kind of psychedelic prog stuff.
Yeah. I don't hate U.S. releases, but I've just seen a face being a Rubber Soul is just wrong to me. Not wrong to me. It's such a great album opener. I grew up with it, the U.S. Rubber Soul. To me, I always say, when I first hear that opening to I've Just Seen a Face, dun, 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 it sounds like, I always say it's a new morning, let in the sunshine. Get up in the morning, open your curtains, here comes the sunshine to start in the album. That's how I feel about it.
It makes it a real folk rock
album.
Yeah.
And then when I finally grew older and started appreciating the UK originals, to me, I've just seen a face seem stranded and thrown anywhere on side 2 of Help, just lost.
In America, folk rock with Simon and Garfunkel in 65, going electric a little bit, and the Byrds and all that stuff, it fits right in that whole thing as the American version.
The Lennon camp says that 2027 next year will be the year for the Walls and Bridges Deluxe remix. Because this year they're concentrating on the movie. It's going to be in theaters. I still got to get my tickets. The John and Yoko concert film. I'd be interested in other opinions, but I think Rubber Soul and Hey Jude are the only U.S. versions that come close to the brilliance of the U.K. version. Mind you, Hey Jude is a weird album. I think that a lot of them do. I think Meet the Beatles is pretty damn good. Maybe better than With the Beatles. I don't know. I like With the Beatles.
Hey Jude could have been a better album if it didn't have those 2 old tracks. I see why. Yeah. They don't fit with the flow. Yeah, musically, they should have.
Too bad they didn't have Rain on there.
Wasn't Rain on there?
Was Rain on there? I take it back. Hold on a minute. Inner Light.
But those 2 old songs, like, what is it? Can't Buy Me Love and whatever.
I should have known better. I think that's because they were never on.
Yeah, but they don't fit. I mean, it's weird.
Yeah, they don't really fit there. But also, I would say that Beatles 65 is a great listen. Better than Beatles for Sale. It's also got I Feel Fine and She's a Woman on it in addition to everything else.
Us Americans, I know the Brits thought it was better, and it is better value not having the singles, but I certainly love having the singles on the albums for the flow. Because
so do I.
I don't always want to pull out a 45 to play.
Well, that's the other thing. I love these topics. I do this all the time. I say a lot of people who are diehards, they say, listen, I'm a purist. That's the word I'm looking for. And I want it to be the way the Beatles and George Martin intended it. Well, if that's the way you want it, you better have individual singles and A and B sides for all those songs. Play the LPs the way they wanted them, but you have to have a stack of singles. We don't change in England. You don't change the 45 adapter. But
all you need is the Red and the Blue albums for that.
But I don't know if I'd agree with that one, Red and the Blue. But then again, don't forget that also, how come they break their rule by listening to past masters? Beatles didn't intend past masters. George, that wasn't originally the plan.
Who cares about artists' intent at this point?
Yeah, no, I mean, there you go.
We got the artist's intent, and Capitol did really well promoting the Beatles. They were reluctant at first, but once they jumped on, and we didn't know any better. That they were different. I think it wasn't until late '67 that I knew that were different British configurations.
Joe, can you put that comment back up again?
Which one?
Was it saying Paul can be an intellectual too? Paul can be an intellectual. Yeah, I agree with that.
Sure.
Yeah, I actually think Paul McCartney is an intellectual. I think he's an intellectual.
He was the one, he gets slighted when it talks about experimental, they're all married in the suburbs or whatever. He was in London. He was going to see Stockhausen things and John Cage and going to the art openings before Yoko brought John to the art openings. Paul was doing all that. He was the one influenced by all these avant-garde and experimental artists, really.
Paul McCartney was the one who wandered into BBC Centre to try and find the BBC Radiophonic Workshop because he liked the Doctor Who theme so much. In 1966, he wanted to find out how Delia Derbyshire did all the effects, the electronic effects. So God knows what he brought back to EMI Studios after that visit, and how much he's responsible for some of the stuff on Revolver and Pepper. Yep. And he's the one who had the closest relationship with George Martin. So any engineering gizmos, he's the more likely voice to get it across.
He was patient enough to build the records where John just
that's true. But
I'm out of here.
Yeah, I've made videos about this too, and John being marginalized. I really have a problem with that because he's not been here for near 46 years, and it's all about Paul. Right. And I always have a problem with that. Now the thing is, everything you said is true, right? It is. It's true. He did have the tape loops. It was his tape loops for Tomorrow Never Knows.
Mm-hmm.
And he was avant-garde and everything. But he doesn't, I feel like he doesn't want to leave John anything. Leave him something, you know. I did everything. You know what I mean? And it's like John is always going to be the weird one, and Paul's going to be the straight one.
John's were a lot of accidental intellect with the loading the tape on backwards, and so that's how Rain comes out. And you know, it wasn't.
Oh, the guitar feedback maybe, but I feel fine. But however, what about his drawings? What about his weird drawings as a young person when he did the book In Your Own Right and a Spaniard in the Works?
Yeah, I do feel Lennon was an intellectual also. You know, it's not like an either or between those two guys, but I think they were both intellectuals. And the reason that McCartney got a bit on his case was because for a long time he suffered in the shadows of a martyr, and finally he got fed up with that.
Yeah, I get that.
You're hitting a nerve here. You're hitting a nerve here.
Genius is pain.
That's when he started pushing for McCartney Lennon on some of the songs.
He's very petty. Here's the thing. What you have said, I understand that, but what I always say is it's true. When John Lennon was murdered, and I don't think Paul would want to trade places with him in order to be a martyr and be more popular, would he?
Sure.
But anyway, he got sore and started calling him Martin Luther Lennon and all of this. Hey, look, you want to trade places? I don't think you do, Paul. So let's be thankful you're here. But anyway, be that as it may, then it went crazy to the point where after John was like a deified saint, which he never wanted, all of a sudden he became the genius of the Beatles. John was the Beatles, right? Paul's in his shadow, exactly. But now it's 40-something years. This was in the 80s and 90s. That's over. Now it's Paul is the guy playing live everywhere. Paul's the guy that has new albums everywhere. He's the guy that did everything. He's the guy that says, hey, you know, I wrote Summer Being for the benefit of Mr. Kite. Hey, I wrote the intro to Strawberry Fields. You know, I did that. You know, now it's John that's in Paul's shadow. That's how I've been feeling about it for many years. Some people don't agree, but that's the way I see it. It's flipped in my opinion. I think neither one was the guy. Neither one.
Right.
But it was too much John back then, and now it's too much Paul. That's my only opinion, you know.
Right.
Your mileage may vary. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do the listening party, though. Oh, man, I got to pick my girlfriend up soon. Here we go again. Oh, is the chat U.S. based? I guess no. I mean, I'm in the U.S.
We got East Coaster, a West Coaster, and a UK coaster or a UK. There you go.
So Joe and Maz actually leaving the house to buy this new album then instead of ordering it online like I did.
Oh no, I'll do everything I can to leave the house and get it. Yeah, I don't want to get it online.
I don't care about whatever color I get. Black's fine with me. I'll probably, unless something else prompts me, I'll just the day of the release. Fridays are always come out. I go to my local. It's 15 minutes away and pick a copy up. It's not like it's going to be a line of people selling out these days for a Paul McCartney record.
But Maz, if you cast your mind back and think how many times you've gone into a shop to buy a Paul McCartney related record, you know,
a lot.
So it's quite an event. It's quite a ritual.
I've been going back to, I remember buying every solo album. I've probably bought either the day of the release or within a couple of days. I remember going in a store and buying Wildlife when it came out, and Ram, and I mean, I'm that old. I remember all that stuff.
Right. So when you think of it in those terms, it's a big part of your life, actually.
Well, one of the striking memories I have, there was a music store that we'd ride our bikes to in 1967, and that summer, and I don't remember what day it was, but it's the day, at least in the States, that our local store got Sgt. Pepper. And there was about 5 people there, and they had the boxes. I don't know if they had more than 2, but 2 boxes. So one would have been stereo, one would have been mono. And they just opened a box and they started pulling out copies and handing it to us. I remember that. It just happened to be the stereo. So I bought the stereo first. And in those days, stereo was $1 more, you know. But that's why I always liked the stereo. I know the Beatles say the mono's the one, but I'm a stereo.
Have you kept hold of that particular copy?
Yeah, I have
now?
that copy. Yeah.
Oh, great stuff.
It's well worn, but I've had tons of
great.
copies since.
To me, it depends on the album, without or the song. When it comes to the Beatles, I say individual songs as to which one I like, which I like better, mono or stereo. To me, it depends on the song in question. But I always had no problem with Pepper in stereo because it's psychedelic. It's supposed to be wow, all over the place.
But that's why I like. I
especially
like
being for the benefit of Mr.
To me,
Card.
psychedelic works better in stereo.
Not Wurlitz is supposed to go everywhere.
Yeah, but the thing is, a good mono. If you have a good mono and a decent setup, a good mono will give the illusion that it's around you the way it's mixed. But I still like stereo better.
Yeah, it depends for me on what some songs. I like the White Album better in stereo by far. Everybody's like the mono's missing stuff like Helter Skelter.
The mono's interesting as an app. See, we didn't get the mono in America.
Yeah, as a quirky difference change. By the way, I have to start going, guys. I'm sorry because I want to stay. But I'm going to answer this. You're disappointed that the film about Paul getting his bass back isn't getting a theatrical release in America. Me, I'm not, because I can live without the film, and I'll see it on cable. It's like a cable film.
It'll stream somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to see that in a theater, honestly.
All right.
Guy with the headphones. Yeah, he's in the UK.
4D man.
Manchester.
Yes, that means he's a wanker because everyone from Manchester is a wanker. Oasis, Morrissey.
All right, everybody, I gotta go, but I'm not gonna go before I promote my other channels real quick, please. Man, I can't even think everything here. Okay, first we got this here, which is a movie channel, movies, TV, nostalgia, pop culture. It's Mr. Cinemeo. I've been neglecting it terribly lately. I got to stop neglecting it, but I got 3 channels, so please subscribe to Mr. Cinemeo if you like any of those things below there. And also, of course, this channel that you're on now, if you're new here, please subscribe to Mean Mr. Mayo. I'm not mean. It's a Mean Mr. Mustard takeoff. Okay. And lastly, some people don't know that. Mayo Loves Mondays for rant videos where I complain about life, life management, retirement, anything to do with life and its pains and problems and positives. Me trying to lose weight. Look at this. I could tell. I got eyes. I'm not doing so good right now with that, but I'll get back. Anyway, 3 channels, all a lot of fun. I call it the Mayo Trifecta or the Mayo Trilogy.
How come you don't have a channel called the Mayo Clinic?
Because I need one, that's for sure.
That could be your old man channel.
But I want to speak to just really quick, Mazzy, when we get off. So hang on for a second, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, everybody. So thank you.
Am I in trouble?
Yeah, I got it. No, not at all. All right, everybody. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Get that McCartney album when it comes out, huh? May 29th. Excuse me, the 29th of May. Yeah, 29th of May.